Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the numerology and the energy for both the collective and the individual life path numbers for March 2022. As with all of these monthly videos, it's very important that you listen to the part for the collective because we are each a part of the collective. And that energy is what's really going to be potent during this time. And so it ties in with your individual life path number. That's why I don't put timestamps. This, of course, is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. I have also just recently started offering one-to-one, face-to-face over Zoom life path coaching with numerology. If this is something that you're interested in, this is an opportunity for a 1-hour session where we dive in deeply into your numerology chart to discuss anything you want to discuss that you're currently facing or that may be coming up for the future for you. If that's something that you're interested in, just book some time with me. I would absolutely love to meet you face-to-face and to work with you in that way. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at the energies for March. So March ushers in the universal cycle of the 9 energy. During this cycle, we can find that we're able to think more abstractly and not quite so rigidly when it comes to our belief systems and how we move through the world. 9 energy is that of the humanitarian. It's an energy that honors self while also bringing in service towards others. So by opening our minds and our hearts, we can begin to see things from a broader perspective where greater, more elevated solutions lie. Aligned 9 energy sets out to bring people together with an emphasis on equality and justice for all. It's an energy of no one being left behind because if someone is struggling, ultimately we're all struggling in some way. So where we can find ways to coexist while doing no harm, then we're able to be a part of the greater circle. If one is being pushed out from that circle, it creates a gap that in one way or another, we all end up feeling, especially energetically. So 9 energetic cycles help us to find ways to do our individual part for the greater good, for the collective, and to bridge the gap, which I think now more than ever, we could use this energy. So it's beautiful energy, especially for March, especially for this time in history. So definitely work with it the best that you can throughout the month and always, but it's very potent this month. This is also a completion cycle, so it can indicate attainment, things coming to fruition from past efforts, such as rewards, earnings, return of investments. This is going to be a situation where you've put in the effort previously and now you're seeing those things again coming to fruition or coming to closure, and it can be closure that's abrupt or it can be closure that you're just kind of tying up that bow really nicely and moving on to the next thing. It can also indicate things falling away so that new seeds can begin to grow, creating a greater foundation for your future cycles. Similar to when we sort of lose our baby teeth as children so that our adult teeth can come in, shedding what no longer works or no longer supports us for something that does. Though this isn't the best energy for sort of starting anything big or new, it's more of a time for setting the intentions and making the preparations for this cycle to begin, right? So this cycle can feel somewhat busier than normal with a lot of added responsibilities being added to your plate. You can see a tremendous amount of inspirations and ideas, psychic and intuitive downloads coming in for you now. Pay extra attention to your dreams at this time and any kind of, again, visions that you have, ideas, inspirations. Now, this isn't necessarily, like I said, this isn't the cycle where we would necessarily take action on those inspirations or those big ideas. Although, we have to go with what comes up for us. So if life dictates that you need to take action, then take action. Don't let this sort of prevent you from doing that. But this isn't the most supportive energy for big ideas taking root when we take action on them just yet. This is the time for the sort of the incubation period, the ideas coming in, sort of exploration of those ideas and those inspirations, and maybe planning and deciding how we want to take action on these ideas. And then in the months that follow, then taking those big risks, those big inspired action, right? So this is going to be a time again to really sink into the more ethereal, sink into the inspirations, the ideas, the dreams. The dreams are going to be coming in very vividly, very strongly for those of you that are especially sensitive to that. You could notice that, again, your intuitive powers are even stronger during this time. You could notice that, again, your psychic powers are much more profound at this time, much more vivid. So pay attention to that. A lot of times that can hold messages. So we just need to be open to it, take note of it, and then revisit it down the road if we need to. So this is not going to be a cycle where self-serving or overly self-indulgent endeavors be supported. Instead, broad compassion, kindness, understanding, and more evolved actions are the ones that will gain the most traction. Friendships and relationships of all kinds can prosper and grow during this time, especially those that hold a similar vision for the greater good. So pay attention to who enters your sphere at this time, your reality, your experience, or who re-enters your life now. They could play a key role in the journey ahead. So be open to who you meet and the messages that they hold and the wisdom that they've come to share. This could be very important for your journey forward. Be mindful not to sort of cling to or get overly attached to experiences, people, or emotions that have run their course and that need to be released. Replaying events or stories in your head only to beat yourself up with them aren't allowing you to move forward into a sort of greener pastures, right? We may need to sort of shovel the manure every now and then, but we certainly don't need to sit in it. So extract the wisdom, release the person, place, or thing with an open heart and with gratitude for their contribution, and move along. There's much more adventure to be had beyond the self-created gates that we often create for ourselves, right? Release that stagnant energy and look forward to the future with joy and high expectation for what awaits you around the next corner, for what you'll create from these big ideas, these big dreams, these big inspirations that could be coming in for you during this cycle. This is incredibly beautiful, ethereal, creative energy, and just a time again for exploration on the softer side of things. So definitely embrace it to the best of your ability. Again, the energy can be present. It's always what we choose to do with it that makes the difference. Okay, on to the life path number. Life path number 3. So I pulled an animal spirit card for you all, and you got Roadrunner Spirit. And Roadrunner's message for you for March is keep your sense of humor and don't take things so seriously. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Things might feel kind of hectic for you this month, and so it might be easy to kind of get caught up in that and lose yourself within those whatever's sort of happening, right? We talked about that in the intro about potentially all these ideas coming in, all these opportunities, all these things that maybe need your decision on or whatever. So it can feel a little bit overwhelming potentially. And so again, it's just a matter of, try to step back, try to find your sense of humor about whatever it is, and find the levity within the situation, right? It's going to allow you to not only open up to your creative spirit, but also to not get so stressed out about things, because that stress will constrict the energy, right? So it's like the more stressed out that we are, the more feeling of overwhelm, the more feeling of anxiety, we sort of constrict the channel to the creativity, right? And so it kind of starts to get all stuck. It's like stuck energy. So the more that you can remember the need to play, to explore, to not take things so seriously as much as possible, the more that you're going to free up that energy, and you'll see even more aligned ideas coming in. You'll feel more sort of redirected towards things that feel more aligned. So find your joy this month as much as possible. Be able to laugh at yourself. Just don't take things so serious is really what it comes down to. Even though it can it can be easier said than done because I do feel like this might be a little bit of a more hectic month for some of you. That's usually the greatest challenge, right? Is to be able to find the levity in, when we're running ragged, right? When we're like the road runner running at sonic speeds. So if you can remember that, I think that it will, again, just sort of alleviate some of the pressure. You'll still get everything done that you need to get done. Everything will work out the way that it needs to work out, but there's no need to be so serious and aggressive about whatever it is. So be gentle and kind with yourself and allow yourself to relax a little bit this month. And always, but especially this month. So when I look at the energies ahead for you all, this is a beautiful month. There's a little bit of challenging energy towards the end of the month, but it's kind of comes back to you and what you decide to do with it. It could go both ways. So beginning of the month, there could potentially be some kind of significant offer coming in for you all, some kind of communication. It can be one that creates a feeling of emotional overwhelm, or it can be one that creates like emotional excitement, like feels really, really good and you're excited to get started on whatever this is. And this could be, again, these big ideas. It's whatever this is, it's very emotive energy. So again, it could come through in your dreams. It could be your emotions trying to speak to you through your dreams to let you know, again, maybe where you need to be a little bit more understanding of yourself or others or whatever, right? Or, it could come in a million different ways. But it's very emotive energy. So there's something here around emotions. There's something here around some kind of an offer that, like I said, it could either feel really, really good or it could feel challenging. And you'll just have to figure out how to work with that energy when it comes in, however it comes in for you, while remembering Roadrunner's message of don't take things so serious, right? So with this, I feel like it's going to be something, for the most part, something that you've maybe been waiting on. Maybe it's not going to be as extreme as what you were expecting. Like maybe, I don't know, this is just a weird example that's kind of popped up, but maybe like you're with your partner and you're expecting to get a proposal, but instead they're letting you know that you're going on vacation, on a wonderful, fun vacation, right? And maybe you feel a little bit let down because it's not the proposal that you were hoping for. But again, there's so much beauty in this gesture and, what they're, and this beautiful trip that's planned or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, again, just be mindful of your reactions, of how much you're reacting towards the expectation versus the actual proposal. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of keep a solid perspective, an open perspective, right? So that could potentially be coming in beginning of the month. And again, I would just say throughout the month, whatever comes up for you, just try to find the levity within it. Just try to find the lighter side of things. Because I think it would be easy to kind of get sucked into, well, this didn't turn out the way that I wanted, or I'm not, I don't deserve X, Y, and Z because this turned out this way, or you know what I'm saying? We can easily go down a rabbit hole. So we might as well make sure that the rabbit hole we're going down is one that allows us to sort of see the lighter side of things and not take things so seriously. Mid-month for you all, there's this energy around, again, sort of like being able to play, be creative, express yourself creatively, really dive into the things that ignite that creative passion within you. And again, I feel like, especially for threes, I feel like this month is going to be a very intuitive month for you all, a very creative month as far as the ideas and the inspirations that are coming in for you. Again, I don't think I don't think that March is going to be a month where we necessarily want to take those big actions, but as far as the ideas coming in, I think there's going to be some big creative ideas coming in for you mid-month. But there's also, again, pay attention to your perspective, pay attention to the lens that you're looking at the situation through. And do you need to sort of open that lens up a bit? Do you need to make it a bit wider so that you're not funneling the experience through a tiny opening that's not allowing you to see the whole situation or embrace the whole situation, right? Because again, it's like if we restrict the energy, then we get tunnel vision and we can miss some great opportunities or ideas coming in for us. So I think for you all, there's a lot this month, especially mid-month, around like patience, taking a bigger stance, seeing things from a different vantage point, from a bigger scope, and embracing and playing and exploring all of those ideas, right? Like in whichever one or two or three stick, those would be the ones that you'll put all your energy into in the following months, like the months to come. But for now, don't limit yourself. Like, don't restrict yourself when it comes to playing with these energies, playing with the ideas. I just think there's a lot coming in here, definitely around creative pursuits and expressing yourself creatively, which again goes hand in hand with 3 energy. It could be a very social month for you as well. For some of you, this could be a month where you find out you're pregnant or you're giving birth, especially with a 9 energy, things coming to completion. So you could be like giving birth this month, quite literally. So I think this is just a time to, again, just explore, get out, your crayons and draw and play and all those things and create a vision board or whatever. Just allow your imagination to run wild, especially mid-month. And don't sort of like discount anything just because it seems too big or like a big idea, right? Like just write it all down, and then see what sticks in the months that follow. End of the month, there's definitely this energy around like self-sabotaging energy. So if there's anything that you want to try, but you keep talking yourself out of it, this is going to be the month to explore that further. Not only like why you keep self-sabotaging, but also like explore the thing that you keep saying that you're not able to do for whatever reason, right? This is going to be really, really important. And if a big idea comes in, again, that's why I say when these big ideas come in, play with them, explore them, write them down, keep coming back to them until you know that it's not for you, or until you just don't really feel an alignment with it or a connection to it. Play with it, explore it. There's definitely this energy end of the month where you could fall into that self-sabotaging behavior where, again, it's like, okay, I want to do this, but I have to do, or I should do X, Y, and Z. Really take some time and explore that defeating thought or that restrictive behavior, because I think there's something more here to be explored, that maybe you're restricting yourself when you really don't need to. Maybe there's a trip that you've wanted to go on and you keep depriving yourself of that because of these like obligations that you've created for yourself or whatever. You know what I mean? Like just really be open to doing things that you maybe wouldn't normally do, or that you would talk yourself out of, because you can always find a reason. We can always find a reason to talk ourselves out of something or to justify whatever action it is that we choose to take, right? And so just be really careful that you're not restricting yourself too much or self-sabotaging yourself out of a really good opportunity, or out of a potentially really good opportunity, out of like fear, or just because of like old beliefs that aren't serving you anymore and just need to fall away. This is going to be the time, especially during 9 energy, to allow those beliefs to fall away so that new ones can come in, right? To shift the perspective, to be open to other people's perspectives and experiences and wisdom, and extract from that whatever works for you. But again, not clinging to those past beliefs so strongly that they continue to influence or restrict your movement forward. I think you're going to have a possibility or an opportunity to really explore that at the end of the month. So take advantage of that. And again, as you move through that process, find the levity, find your sense of humor about it as you move through it, right? It will lighten the load. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you all so much for listening. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.